Okay, hello. Welcome to class. My name is Shayla Lanier, and I will be your instructor. So this week, this is your busiest week of the whole class. You do more this week than you will the whole rest of the time. So let's dive in. So today, you'll want to post your summary of current course knowledge, and that is simply what do you know, what do you not know, what do you want to know, but it doesn't have to be complex. That's due today. Then on Wednesday, you have two things due. Your class introduction. That is my favorite because I get to meet you. I get to know a little about you. And then also you have your initial response to discussion question 1. And you're looking at the mutual trade. Initially, the English colonists engaged in a mutually beneficial, for the most part, system of trade with the Native Americans who were already living here, the indigenous people. They really saved the colonists' lives, really. So you're looking at that mutually beneficial system of trade. Obviously, we know that does not last forever, but initially it was positive on both sides. So you're examining that. What did they trade? And what were reasons for the friendly interaction on both sides? Then Friday, you have your initial post in discussion question 2. You're examining the triangular trade. This is one of the really difficult parts of the study of history because in the triangular trade, one of the commodities was humans for slave labor. And so it's hard. That is hard. It's heartbreaking. Man's inhumanity to man is very difficult, but we must study it. And the reason that we must study it, and the reason it's important to study history, is because then we can recognize characteristics of things that were bad. And when we see them manifesting today, because history repeats, we as a species, we have not evolved very much. And if you think of it, the first recorded crime, the first recorded murder is in Genesis in the Bible. What was that over? It was essentially jealousy, right? And so why do people commit murders today? Same reason. So, and other reasons, but just are the things that motivate us, they've not changed very much. And so that's why we study history, because that's why things repeat. We as a species, we are who we are. We're motivated by the same things. We want the same things. You know, we need shelter and water to survive. So our needs are the same. We have not evolved beyond those basic fundamentals. And so that's why we see these things repeating throughout time. So the reason we want to study even the worst parts of history, the most heart-wrenching parts of history, and they are hard and they are heart-wrenching, is because when we see those things coming around again, we can recognize immediately, oh, we have seen this before, and then we can be part of a positive solution that sets a stage for a much better tomorrow. So that's why it's important. Even when it's hard, it's really important to study it, to press through. So then also you have an assignment this week, British colonies and indigenous peoples. With the assignments, they'll always let you know the word count requirements, the source requirements. I suggest doing all of the required reading before Sunday when that assignment is due, because then you're equipped to provide and meet those word count requirements and meet those source requirements. Also the reading. History classes, if this is your first one, the reading is substantial. But I do have a little secret recipe that I use in my own life because I'm still taking classes, working toward my PhD. And one thing I do is I will get up 30 minutes early. So say I normally get up at 6 a.m., I will get up at 5:30 a.m. Now, it's really important. Do not look at your phone. And you can maybe shut off your social media notifications so then you can see, like, if a family member is trying to get a hold of you, you at least need to know that. But if you through a text or a call. But as far as social media, turn those notifications off and don't even look until you have done 30 minutes of reading. I find that if I do it early, my house is quiet, my phone is quiet, my brain is still quiet, and I can just really focus for those 30 uninterrupted minutes. If you will do that every day, say on the weekends, you normally sleep in on Sunday till 7, get up at 6:30. Then you still have that 30 minutes. If you'll do that all 7 days of the week, that's 3.5 hours of reading. And it just really makes a huge difference in keeping up with even the most demanding reading loads. So that's my tip. Also, we have participation in this class. So what that looks like is really 5 substantive replies in the discussions to your peers. And then on Thursdays of every week, I will post a little bonus, a little participation bonus where I ask a question. I typically require 1-word answers or just really short answers, and I will give you full participation credit. You need 6 of them, but I'll give you 1 of them for just replying to that with my simple answer that I asked for. But you'll want substantive replies to your peers. There's no minimum word count requirement, but ideally your initial post is at least 5 complete sentences, and the replies, we're looking for at least 3 complete sentences just to really enhance that discussion, because that's a good learning experience. There are many different learning styles. I do well to read something and then respond privately on my own. Other people, they need that interaction. The class is designed to really meet as many learning styles as possible and to have dynamic instruction and interaction. So that's my plug. Reach out with questions. Welcome to class. This is the best subject in the world. History is so important to understand the world around us. If we can understand how we got here, we can understand how to help guide to a better tomorrow. So it's really, really important to study our history, and I hope you enjoy it, even if you think you hate it. I used to think that I hated it until I started learning more about it. So in high school, I had a terrible experience with my history education and instruction, but then I got into college and I had professors who were excited about it, and I really understood it pertained to me and my world right now. And that, we are self-interested creatures, and so once we understand that, it becomes far more exciting for us. And how you begin to understand that is to really discipline yourself to do the reading. You're gonna see. Also, I recommend that you watch the news, because again, it's repeating, right? And as you watch the news, you will see little tidbits of that repetition in the news. And then you might want to write your Congress people, or you might want to start voting, or you might want to start participating in various ways, which would be so wonderful for you and your community and your family. All right, that's my plug. Welcome to class.